Infidelity leaves a trail. It is impossible for a human being to maintain two separate romantic realities without creating fractures in their baseline behavior. Most men rely on their intuition, but intuition without observation is just anxiety. To truly understand if a partner is being unfaithful, you must look past the obvious red flags like a hidden phone or a late night at work. You must analyze the subtle shifts in psychology, physiology, and linguistics. This is a comprehensive analysis of the behavioral anomalies that occur when a woman has emotionally or physically moved on to another man. The first and most paradoxical sign is the sudden cessation of conflict. This is often misinterpreted by men as the relationship improving. For years, she may have nagged you about taking out the trash, playing video games, or being more ambitious. Suddenly, that noise stops. The silence is not peace, it is indifference. In female psychology, communication, even argumentative communication, is an investment. When she fights with you, she's trying to mold you into a better partner because she sees a future with you. When she stops fighting, she has stopped investing. She no longer cares if you play video games for 10 hours because she is no longer planning to be the woman sitting next to you while you do it. Her emotional needs are being met elsewhere, so your deficiencies no longer trigger a reaction. The void, where her complaints used to be, is the first sign of detachment. The second major indicator is a phenomenon known as mirroring, or the acquisition of new traits. Human beings are social chameleons. We subconsciously mimic the people we are most attracted to. If she has been with you for 5 years, her musical taste, slang, political views, and hobbies are likely stabilized. If you suddenly notice a sharp, unexplained deviation in her preferences, you need to ask where that influence is coming from. If she suddenly starts listening to a genre of music she previously hated, or uses specific slang words she never used before, she is mirroring someone else. This is not just growing as a person. Rapid personality shifts usually indicate the heavy influence of a new, dominant figure in her life. She is trying to align her identity with the new man she's trying to impress. We must then look at the physiological response known as the repulsion reflex. This is evolutionary. When a woman is biologically and emotionally bonded to a new mate, her body often develops an involuntary aversion to her previous mate to prevent sperm competition. You will notice this in micro-rejections. It is not just that she says no to sex, it is how she reacts to non-sexual touch. When you hug her from behind while she's doing dishes, does she lean into it or does her spine stiffen? When you reach for her hand, does she hold it or is her hand limp? Does she angle her body away from you on the couch? These are visceral, subconscious reactions. Her body feels like it is betraying the new partner by being intimate with you, creating a sensation of disgust or discomfort that she tries to mask but cannot fully hide. This leads into the concept of cognitive dissonance and the resulting villainization of the partner. Cheating creates a massive psychological conflict. Most people do not view themselves as bad, so to justify the betrayal, she must view you as worse. You will notice she begins to rewrite the history of your relationship. She will bring up grievances from years ago that were resolved. She will characterize you as controlling, unloving, or negligent to her friends and family, and eventually to your face. This is a defense mechanism. If she can convince herself that you are a villain who trapped her in a miserable life, then her cheating becomes a noble act of seeking happiness. If she suddenly starts attacking your character rather than your actions, she is building the justification narrative for her exit. Now we must discuss digital opacity, but we need to go deeper than just hiding the phone. Amateurs hide their phones, professionals sanitize them. A major red flag is actually a phone that is left out in the open, but is suspiciously clean. If you ever see her text threads and they are empty or look like a formal business exchange, that is a sign of deletion. No one texts their best friend or sister without a history of memes, photos, and scrolling conversations. If the chat history is deleted, she is hiding the context of her timeline. Furthermore, look for the battery drain anomaly. If she claims she was just at work and not on her phone, but her battery usage statistics show that social media apps or encrypted messaging apps were running for 4 hours in the background, her story is mathematically impossible. Watch for the use of do not disturb modes during normal hours. If she puts her phone on silent or DND when she's just sitting with you watching a movie, it is not to focus on the movie. It is to prevent a notification with a specific name or a flirty message from popping up on the screen where you might see it. Another critical sign is the schedule gray zone. In a healthy relationship, partners generally have a mental map of each other's day. You know she leaves work at 5 o'clock, hits the gym, and is home by 6:30. Infidelity requires time. You will start to see the expansion of existing windows of time. The gym session that used to take 90 minutes now takes 3 hours. The work meeting that usually ends at 5:00 now runs until 8:00 regularly. When you ask about these delays, the details will be vague or overly defensive. If you ask, "How was the gym?" and she snaps, "Why are you checking up on me?" that is a defensive flare-up caused by guilt. A person with nothing to hide simply says, "It was good, leg day was tough," and a person with something to hide interprets a simple question as an interrogation. Pay close attention to the shower ritual. This is a primal instinct. If she comes home from a night out with friends or a late shift at work and immediately goes to the shower before greeting you, kissing you, or sitting down, this is a red flag. In a normal dynamic, a partner greets their spouse first. The immediate need to shower often stems from a psychological need to wash off the guilt or a physical need to remove the scent of another person. It is a transition ritual. She is washing off the mistress persona to step back into the wife persona. If this behavior is new and consistent, it is one of the most reliable indicators of physical infidelity. Financial anomalies are the next layer. Affairs cost money. Even if the other man is paying for dates, there are peripheral costs: new lingerie, gas money, Ubers, hotel rooms, or burner phones. If she suddenly becomes protective over bank statements or credit card bills, or if you notice cash withdrawals that cannot be accounted for, she is funding a secret life. Also, watch for the mysterious new friend. She may suddenly mention a new coworker or a friend named Sarah, who she is spending a lot of time with. Sarah is often a cover. She tells you she is with Sarah, but she's actually with him. If she is vague about who this new friend is, or if you never seem to meet this person despite how much time they spend together, that person likely does not exist or is covering for her. Linguistic distancing is a subtle but powerful tool to analyze. Listen to her pronouns. Couples who are connected use we phrases. We should go there. When are we buying the house? When she starts disengaging, she will shift to I phrases. I want to travel. I need to figure out my future. She is subconsciously decoupling her future from yours. This is often accompanied by future faking. If you try to make concrete plans for 6 months down the road, booking a vacation or buying concert tickets, she will be evasive. She will say, "Let's wait and see," or "I'm not sure what my schedule looks like." She cannot commit to a future date with you because she is not sure she will still be with you by then. There is also the phenomenon of gaslighting regarding paranoia. If you bring up a concern, a loyal partner will try to reassure you. A cheating partner will try to pathologize you. They will say, "You are crazy, you are so insecure," or "You need therapy." This is a diversion tactic. By attacking your mental state, she shifts the focus from her behavior to your reaction. She wants you to doubt your own reality so that you stop trusting your eyes and ears. This is often effective because men do not want to be seen as weak or controlling, so they back down to prove they are not insecure, inadvertently giving her more freedom to cheat. Observe her reaction to your kindness. This is known as the guilt gap. If you do something incredibly nice for her, buy her a gift, clean the whole house, or write her a love note, watch her face. A woman in love will react with joy and affection. A woman who is cheating will often react with discomfort, sadness, or even anger. Your kindness makes her feel like a terrible person. It increases the cognitive dissonance. She does not want you to be nice. She wants you to be mean, so she feels justified in leaving. If your affection makes her recoil or seem depressed, it is because she knows she does not deserve it. You must also analyze the information diet. In a relationship, partners share the mundane details of their day. The funny thing a coworker said, the weird dog they saw on the street. This is called bids for connection. When she is cheating, she stops sharing these small details with you because she is sharing them with someone else. She has a new emotional confidant. You will find that her conversation becomes strictly logistical. Did you pay the bills? Pick up the kids. The emotional color of the conversation drains away because she has a limited amount of emotional energy, and she is spending it all on the new relationship. You are getting the leftovers. Pay attention to her privacy boundaries regarding her appearance. If she suddenly starts dressing better for work, wearing new underwear that you have never seen, or obsessing over her gym progress, but she puts in zero effort when it is just the two of you at home. She is marketing herself to a new buyer. The Saturday night versus Tuesday morning test is useful here. If she looks like a supermodel when she goes out with the girls, but wears stained sweatpants around you for weeks on end, the effort gap tells you who she is trying to impress. It is not you. Finally, trust the gut instinct, but understand what it is. Your gut is not magic. It is your subconscious pattern recognition machine. Your brain processes thousands of microsignals every day. Her tone of voice, the length of her pauses, where her eyes look when she answers a question. Your conscious mind might ignore these red flags because it hurts to acknowledge them, but your subconscious accumulates them. When you get that sick feeling in your stomach that something is off, it is your brain telling you that the pattern has broken. The baseline has shifted. The most dangerous thing a man can do is confront her without evidence. If you confront her based on a feeling, she will manipulate you. You must become a silent observer. Stop asking for validation. Stop chasing her. Pull back your energy and watch. When you stop initiating, does she come to you or does she drift further away? Usually, when you pull back, the space you create reveals the truth. If she is cheating, she will use that space to run further into the other man's arms, relieving her of the burden of pretending with you. In conclusion, there is no single smoking gun. It is a constellation of behaviors. It is the phone turned face down combined with the new underwear. It is the lack of arguments combined with the vagueness about her schedule. It is the defensive outburst combined with the lack of intimacy. When you see these signs clustered together, you are not looking at a rough patch. You are looking at a betrayal. The woman you knew is gone, replaced by a stranger protecting a secret. Recognition is the first step to protection. Do not ignore the anomalies.